Good morning, Philippines. Well, today I thought I'd talk to you about everybody's favorite topic, money. Let's talk about money. Let's talk about cash. So, in the Philippines, if you're walking around with a lot of cash, I wouldn't recommend it unless you're in a place like Davao, which is supposedly the safest city in the Philippines. Even though Makati is the most uh, populated by expats. It's certainly not the safest. Having been robbed in broad daylight there, I can vouch for that. But loans in the Philippines, I heard about the state of loans in the Philippines, and there's a lot of illegal things going on here that people are being taken advantage of and exploited. One thing that is illegal is the 5-6 otang that is rampant in the poorer sections, where if you borrow 5,000 pesos, you pay back 6,000 pesos by the end of the month. That works out to about 20% interest monthly and compounded 1,000% annually. That's crazy, usury. Now, if you go the legal route in the Philippines, you can charge up to 12% annually, 1% monthly, or a short term loan for the month at 6%. Above that, it's not considered legal. Now, when you compare that to Canada, where in Canada you can charge up to 60% in some of the credit cards. And there used to be usury laws in Canada. I believe there was 35% was the limit, but it's up to 25. So if you're borrowing money in Canada, you better watch what your rate of interest is monthly and annually and check that out periodically because you could be hooped. I get offers for credit all the time in Canada. Now, I tried offering myself a personal loan contract with a lady here whose name will not embarrass her any more than she already is. She borrowed 30,000 pesos from me in 2013 on December 27, 2013, and was supposed to make a repayment of the loan on January 27th, 2014, 1 month later, of $36,000, which was 10% per month, which at the time I'd only known about the 5-6 Utang laws and realized now that I couldn't enforce this anyway. So she was supposed to pay me 36,000 pesos a month later. Anyway, that was based upon my own ignorance, and nothing was done to collect it because I realized the contract is unenforceable. And the whole point of the loan was to help her out. She was starting off a new rock band and needed some funding to get to Manila so she could get into a contest, and that was part of it. So I wish her well, and hopefully her band's doing well. But the thing about lending money, when a Filipino comes to you and says they want to borrow money, when they talk about borrowing, they mean they have every intention of paying you back when they win the lottery, when they fall into a huge amount of money and can afford to pay you. But until that such time, you can pretty well count on not seeing the cash. Now, there's Pinoys that jump from island to island to avoid debt collectors. They borrow on one island, and don't forget there's 5,000 inhabitable islands and 2,000 more if they decide to hide in the bush where they could hide it from creditors. So, what's happened here is it's a different construct than North America. It's so difficult to get a mortgage unless it's some kind of industrial project that you're partnering through a bank or something like that, multi millions of pesos. Other than that, for the ordinary Filipino to get a loan for buying a property, no, it's all cash. It's all done in cash. And they want it ASAP before you have a chance to check the title of the property or anything like that. They'll try and push that through, and you'll find out all you got is a tax declaration on property that they don't own themselves and have no right to sell you. So that's another risk involved, but that's a whole different avenue from what I'm talking about here today, which is borrowing and lending money. So if you lend money to the Filipino, you have to have it in your mindset that you're never going to see it again. You have to consider it as a donation so that you can free your heart and not have to look at them at family gatherings and say, hey, you owe me 200,000 pesos, you blah, 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 and poison the rest of your relationship. You realize you come from a different circumstance than they did, and you just move on from it. So, borrowing money means basically give me the money and I'll see when I can pay you back. But as far as living to the terms of a contract, unless you're dealing with a business situation and you have some sort of collateral or equity that you can attach the loan to, you're SOL. Sorry, out of luck. Now, I tried a couple of these initially when I first came here, thinking that maybe I could do microloans. And I've put out here on videos before that if you have ideas that for under $1,000 could be a business for a Filipino, and this is out to the Filipinos as well. If you have something that a business that you would like to develop and need some micro loan, I'm open to look at suggestions. That's not no guarantee that you're going to be borrowing any money from me. But don't forget that this old guy has over 40 years experience in business, both as an entrepreneur and in retail shopping center management. So I know basically what businesses thrive and what ones languish, and some of them are universal. So maybe I can help you avoid some of the pitfalls. You're gonna want to watch too when you lend money to people, that when you lend it to, is it for them or are they going to be the intermediary? There are those who put themselves in the middle position where you lend them the money thinking that they're going to run and operate a business, and the next thing you know, their mother's working the store every day, and they're never to be seen again. Or worse yet, you see pictures of them at Jollibee enjoying lunch with friends. So meanwhile, somebody else is manning the store. No, you want somebody who's going to be hands-on on whatever the business is and make sure that that's taken care of in a proprietary interest. So borrowing and lending money, they say be neither a borrower nor a lender be. So I wouldn't recommend it, especially here in the Philippines, because now the climate is, you go and buy an air conditioner or a motorbike or a gas hot plate or whatever, anything. In a lot of these stores there, they will lend you money. They have plans where they lend you money at high rates of interest. And they're actually counting on you not being able to pay off the loan. And they'll come back and they'll seize your motorbike and they'll sell it off to somebody else. And that's why quite often you're a lot better off to buy a used motorbike that's gone through a few places. And in fact, if you were to ask the vendor of the motorcycle or the car that you're looking at what the cash price of the vehicle is, they're going to look at you stunned, like, huh? Because they never sell them like that. They sell them always on payment plans, and they're counting on that as a revenue stream. So, and in fact, you got to be careful that because of the skin tax here, you're being a foreigner walking into their showroom, they're not going to charge you more for that. So bring your little Filipino along, let her know what model you want, and get out of the way and let her do the negotiating. So that's it for lending money in the Philippines. Don't do it. It's not a good idea. And hold on to your cash. Now, if you decide somebody needs, say they need a gas burner or they need a motorcycle to get to school or whatever that is, or especially education and health, those are things that I'm big on. Yeah, be prepared to pay the school directly or pay for the motorcycle directly so you know it's taken care of. And then watch, because a service, they'll have to fulfill their schooling, but they may just take the motorcycle back and cash it in for some money to survive another month. Don't forget, you're coming from a country that's just pulling itself out of the mire. They're no longer a third world country. They're the developing country, but they're still struggling. So desperate people do desperate things. So you watch the whole flow of it. I saw one time Gio, the Philippines, he was buying flip-flops for the kids because he was lending money initially to them, and they weren't weren't buying the flip-flops, and he bought the flip-flops and he found that the kids were selling the flip-flops. So, you know, you can't win sometimes, and but you can try, and that's the thing. It's the effort that's involved. Um, but really, basically, if it comes down to having to lend money, there's only two criteria where I would look at lending money. If somebody is sick in the family, really sick, you have a dialogue with the doctor and find out, yes, they need chemotherapy and they need treatment for the diabetes, or they need to have emergency surgery from a motorcycle accident, those type of things. Yeah, my name is Phil. I'm Phil Health. So yeah, I'll gladly help the family for something like that. And then if the kids are working hard to get an education, and maybe their scholarships run out, or just you can see they're working at it, but they just can't seem to get over the hump. Yeah, I'll help them out there, but they have to commit. They have to commit to a degree or something like that. Just not park themselves and take a general arts program for a few years to waste time. So that's it for lending and borrowing in the Philippines. Don't do it. And in the meantime, please, if you like this stuff, don't forget to give me the big thumbs up. And new subscribers, I'm on the hunt for new subscribers. If you haven't subscribed and thought about it, please click that button and subscribe. It certainly helps this channel grow. And share it with your friends. There's information here. Like I say, there's over 350 videos here on different aspects and experiences of my life. You should be able to glean something out of some of them. Some of them are just for fun. But yeah, nice chatting. Hopefully you'll subscribe, and we'll talk to you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye.